Hello, it's Tony here, and in this module of Power Automate Basics, we're going to go through a demo of Power Automate, show you the core features of Power Automate, and as we're doing that, we'll be showing you the lab overview. So this is what you'll be building in the labs as you go through this course, the rest of this course. So without further ado, let's get on with that. So Power Automate has a product vision. And it's based on, if you go back to the market overview module, we talked about how automation is around doing more with less and how it's going to impact work in the future. And Power Automate's vision is that people should only have to focus on tasks where they can bring unique human value. This whole idea that time is not limitless, but human potential is limitless and time is not. So I get this vision. I've been in automation work for around 10 years now, so I absolutely connect with this vision. I totally understand it, but I understand that, but I also appreciate that many people will not get this, and it's like, okay, that's a nice statement, but what does it actually mean? And what I want to do is bring this down to some sort of reality by going through a business process and talking through that and how this vision matches to that process. So this is the process you'll be building out today, by the way. In the course today, as you go through the course. So here's the business scenario. A contractor finishes the project and would like her invoice paid. And she sends an invoice by email to a shared mailbox monitored by a team. The team checks the incoming mail, reads the invoice, works out where it needs to go, and then send another email with a summary of the invoice for approval by a manager. The manager or team leader checks the details, determines whether the invoice should be paid, and then the manager will reply or forward the email off to finance for payment. Finance then get the email, they data input into a legacy finance system, and then they do some things in Excel and in Euro, and they do some other things in it as finance people do. And then the team replies back to the contractor with the internal reference number from the finance system to say, hey, your invoice is approved, and here is the reference number. Now, each of these individual tasks might take around 4 minutes. So depending on the number, 4 minutes and 12 minutes. Depending on the volume, if you're doing thousands of these, that's an impact, right? If you're doing a few hundred a month, maybe the impact isn't that particular time that you're saving there. However, it takes 12 hours for the contractor's invoice to get to the manager. And then from the manager to getting back to the contractor takes around 24 hours. Now, bringing this back to the Power Automate vision, people should only have to focus on tasks where they can bring unique human value. Where is the unique human value in this particular chain? In this particular workflow, where is the unique human value? For me, it's right there in the middle. It is with the manager. The manager or team leader is using some uniquely human attributes here. Some value judgments, quality of the relationship, is the relationship, have they delivered on trust, and all of those human qualities is in that authorization, that approval step. Everything else, either side of it, can and should be automated. So if we look at the same process this time with Power Automate in the mix, contractor sends the email as normal. This time, Power Automate is checking a shared mailbox for the invoices. It extracts the invoice data from the invoice using artificial intelligence, then it uses Teams to send a message to the manager for the approval. The manager reviews the invoice information and then approves for payment using a button in Teams. You just press a button to authorize it, just a yes or no, whether they want to approve it. Then Power Automate kicks in again, and this time it's using robotic process automation, using desktop flows, to data input the data into a legacy application, and does some things in Excel and does some things on a website. And finally, Power Automate, the cloud flows then reply to the contractor with the reference number, letting them know the invoice is approved and ready. No human interaction other than the approval in the middle, and this time we've gone from 12 hours to 45 seconds, and we've gone from 24 hours down to 5 minutes, depending on the cycle of the desktop flows. So you can see here the time value, the time benefit is really striking in terms of throughput and execution of the particular process. And if we were to look at the features of Power Automate, loosely they can map like this. So we can say that Process Advisor is the product that you would use to map out the business process, to work out what needs to be automated. You would use Cloud Flows to then monitor the mailbox using the Outlook APIs and the Team APIs to post into those products, to use those products. AI Builder is what is extracting the data from the invoice and a custom AI Builder model that we will build during this course. And then Desktop Flows kick in to input the data into the legacy application. And let's just show you those, a little preview of what those products look like. So Process Advisor, you record a business process. You record the steps of a business process, also known as task mining. So you're recording the steps within a particular task, the tasks within a process. You analyze them and you find the bottlenecks within those processes. So you'll be doing this in the labs in the labs coming up, where you'll see here we're going to record. So we're using Desktop Recorder to record ourselves doing a task, and Process Advisor is going to record those steps of that task in the recorder on the left hand side. So you'll see as I'm hovering over various things here, a little red square appears. Well, that's the recorder letting you know which element you are clicking on as you're recording the task. So that there is the recorder which you will use during the course, and then the output of that is this process flow. So you get this diagram, and we will walk you through building this using Process Advisor. So Process Advisor maps the process. Second, Cloud Flows. This is what is checking the shared mailbox for invoicing. Now, there are over 500 cloud connectors. We'll be using Outlook, and within these Cloud Flows there are triggers, and we'll be using when a new email arrives in Outlook trigger. So when a new email arrives in a particular mailbox, the automation will start. And then within those Cloud Flows, you also have actions. So in this instance, we're going to use message to Teams, so to post a message into Teams. So Cloud Flows is using the Outlook API to trigger off the automation, and it's using the Teams API to post messages into Teams. Here's a very quick overview of the user interface here. What you'll see is, we'll cover all of this in the courses, in the modules as we move forward. It's just a first look. So you have templates and connectors. Here's the connectors. You can see all the connectors there that are available. Over 500 of these are available. And we look at, say, for example, Microsoft To Do. You'll see in here, these are the triggers. So when a new to-do is created, you can start a flow, or when one is updated. And here's all the templates that are available for Microsoft To Do. And this is using the Microsoft To Do APIs. So the connector is tightly linked to whether there's an API available. And then you can use these to create a particular flow. And this is the flow that you'll be building in this course. So when a new email arrives, that's the trigger. And then for each attachment from that email, we'll be sending it off to AI Builder and then posting a choice of options as the flow bot to a user using the Teams connector and the Teams APIs. And then based on the response, we're going to do something with that. And this is the workflow you'll be building in the labs today in this course. That's Cloud Flows. Look at AI Builder. AI Builder has pre-built models, and we're going to train custom models throughout the course today. And it is literally AI without developers. You will build a very sophisticated model in this course. Here's the homepage for AI Builder. Now, I know that this is going to change soon, not sure when. If it looks a bit different, don't worry, it's the same sort of functionality. But you can see the custom models at the top there. This is an example of a custom model. And then you've got these are the out-of-the-box models that you can use. No training required. You can literally just use them. So this is sentiment analysis. You can send it some text and it'll tell you where that text is positive, negative or neutral. So this cup of tea is nice, you would expect is positive. So you can create flows that can pass text to this AI model and you get back the sentiment of that text. Great for customer service, social media monitoring, all of that sort of stuff. That's AI Builder. Desktop flows. This is where you mimic the actions of a human being. And as I mentioned in a previous video, this was an acquisition of a product called Win Automation that was the most user-friendly automation product according to a site called G2. And this interface, it's really easy to use and you'll be building that out, and a PC is required. Just like a human, if you're employing a human, you need a PC to execute these flows. So desktop flows look something like this. This is the user interface. If we go and look at, let's just go to here. So here you can see we're going to run, and there's the steps of the process, and you're going to build this out yourself. And you can see it automating the user interface like a human is doing, points and clicks like a human would. That's Power Automate Desktop and RPA. I'll just get this one. So here is the end-to-end process flow that you'll be building throughout this course today. So first of all, we'll have used Process Advisor to map out the business process. And then you'll be sending an email to yourself, attaching an invoice, and putting new invoice in the subject line. And then, so here's the invoice. Then you're going to send it to yourself or to your test account, your play account. And now Cloudflows is going to kick in. So at this point, Cloudflows will take over and it's monitoring that mailbox and triggering when a new email arrives. It will trigger the flow, send off the attachment to AI Builder, and then use the Teams API to show a card to a user. And then the person, you can see there's the invoice data extracted. We've approved the invoice, and you can see there's the data that's come from that invoice. And we will build a custom AI Builder model that will extract that data. And finally, we'll be handing off data to the desktop, a desktop flow. And in this desktop flow, we're going to launch this legacy Contoso invoice application. And here you can see the data that is being entered straight from that invoice that we had before, passed from the cloud to the desktop, entering into there, and you'll see now it's going to go to a website and do some stuff on a website. And then finally, it will log all of its activity in a Excel workbook that you can see here. That's what you're going to build. You're going to build that in our course if you follow it through. Highly recommend that you do, obviously. Bridging the gap between cloud flows, between modern systems with APIs and old without API. You will learn how to bridge that gap and pass data between the two throughout this course. All of this stuff is known as intelligent automation. Cloud flows, desktop flows, AI Builder, process mining, and interoperability with Power Platform. All of this together, you can build some really cool intelligent automation solutions. So stick with us, stick with the course, and you will understand how you can really leverage Power Automate to automate a whole heap of stuff for your organization. Catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Catch you later.